Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sean Austin here again from Sean's Rabbit Tree and Aquaponic Produce, and we back with another rabbit farming video for you guys. Now you saw the title, so you know we bring in a couple pointers for the newbies today. If you saw our last video, more than likely you would have gleaned some useful information from that video. Okay, if you haven't seen that video as yet, I definitely recommend you go have a look at that one before you view this one. But if you've seen that one already, then let's move forward with the information. So today I'm going to be bringing a couple pointers for the newbies that you could institute in your new rabbit farming venture. So stay tuned, we'll be back with more right after the intro. Okay, we're back. So you viewed our last video on rabbit newbies. Hopefully you've done all the necessary due diligence and you're ready to move forward with your rabbit farming venture. Like most people, you're anxious to get started, but getting the right start is more important than getting a fast start. And this is an area where I want you to exercise some caution. In an effort to get that fast start, you may go out in search of those that are quote-unquote ready to breed. Now this is good to a point, but I don't recommend that you buy those that are old, especially if they've never been bred before. What do I mean by old? Well, if you're breeding for meat, most likely you're using breeds like New Zealand Whites and Californians. These breeds are capable of conception from as early as 4.5 months. We usually start off breeding from about 5.5 months, with 6 months being the latest time for their first breeding. We find that within that window, they are a lot more receptive to the buck. In our experience, those that grow past 7 months and have never been bred are usually less receptive to the buck and are usually some of your more troublesome breeders. Now let's look at the opposite end of the spectrum. Never buy kits to start off your breeding operation. Now let's say you have a litter of 6 kits. Genetically, they're not all going to be equal. Even though they're from the same litter, they have the same sire, the same dam. Remember, they're coming in, each of them, with half of the genetics from their sire, half of the genetics from the dam, but not necessarily the same half in each instance. So you may have a litter of 6 and all of the rabbits may look similar, but they won't look the same. Phenotypically, you might have a couple of them that look just like the sire, a couple that look just like the dam, and maybe a couple that look like a mixture of the two. But it's a literal coin toss. So to narrow the odds and make the best guess, we recommend that you wait until those rabbits are at least 3 months old. At this point, you're better able to look at their phenotype and determine the ones that you want to keep. And you want to keep the best, okay? Or choose the best in a case where you go to purchase. So you're not going to just go there and look at one rabbit and say, yes, I want that. You want to look at the litter, see what the siblings look like. Because if I'm choosing from a litter of 6, I may choose 2, but I want the 2 that either grow the fastest or carry the body type that I'm looking for in a meat rabbit. And you're not going to be able to see these traits when they're at the kit stage. This is why I say don't buy kits. So if you're going to purchase rabbits to start your operation, look for rabbits that are at least 3 to 4 months old, where you can see their development with respect to their age. You know, this is important. So stay away from kits. Just as a side note, I mentioned genotype and phenotype briefly. These are just fancy terms that describe the look and the genetic makeup of the rabbit. If you haven't seen our video on genotype versus phenotype, they definitely need to go check that out, because as a new person coming into rabbit farming, this is something that you need to at least have a basic understanding of if you're going to be able to choose the right rabbits to start with. So I'll leave the link to that video in the description box below. Definitely go and check out that video right after viewing this one. So in conclusion, don't buy rabbits that are too young, and don't buy rabbits that are too old. You're aiming for that 3 to 4 month period. That's ideal. This gives you a bit of time to get used to the rabbits, and it also gives the rabbit time to acclimate itself to you, your setting, your feeding schedule, your handling practices. Now, speaking of handling practices, constantly practice the handling of your rabbits and doing so properly. Rabbits that just sit in a cage being fed for months on end tend to become a bit territorial because they're not used to having your hand in their cage, and this could sometimes result in some serious bites and scratches. Yes, bites and scratches. The more you handle your rabbits, the more tame they become and therefore easier to handle. Okay, now for a quick demonstration, okay, like I say, this is something you should practice as regular as you can, every opportunity you get. Whether you're breeding or not, just let them get used to being handled. Take them out of the cage, pet them, put them back in. When we're talking about taking them out and putting them back into the cage, it's the same action, just in reverse. Okay, so you're going to hold the rabbit with one hand, whichever hand is stronger for you. Never hold them by their ears. Okay, you're holding the rabbit just below the neck, above the neck, sorry, right? What we call the area, what we call the strut. So you're holding firmly, don't hold them firmly, it doesn't hurt them. Hold them firmly, lift, and use your other hand to support their body weight. Okay, so like I said, if you're putting them into the cage, you go forward, and if you're taking them out of the cage, it's the same thing in reverse. Okay, get them used to this action, get them used to being handled. So as you can see, this rabbit, she basically just sits there. She's used to being handled, and this is generally what you're aiming for. You don't want rabbits that are irritable and literally kicking and screaming every time you try handling them. Okay, now if you hold them improperly, sometimes people tend to just hold them here and just hang them. What happens is that some rabbits are quite uncomfortable with that feeling if their weight isn't being supported, and their hind legs, these powerful hind legs, have the ability to reach all the way up past their head. So what you're going to discover quickly and sometimes quite painfully is that these back legs are able to reach all the way up here to scratch at the hand that's holding them, and this has resulted in many a painful scrape, right? Sometimes to the point of bleeding. That is something I experienced personally. Now there's an option that you can explore. May not necessarily be that important, but it's something you can do in the early stages of handling rabbits. What I did when I just started, I bought Kevlar sleeves. Right now, these sleeves have seen better days, okay? But keep in mind that I've had these sleeves for over 20 years and they're still basically good to go. Just the ends are a bit frazzled now. Now they come with the hole here to fit the thumb. So basically you slide them on, thumb comes through the hole and it covers your entire forearm. Same thing with the other side. Okay, hand comes out, thumb through the hole, and it covers your entire forearm. So now we're ready for battle. So with this now, even if they do jump up and scratch at you, you won't receive any injuries. So this is a double-lined Kevlar sleeve, so they protect you even from bites. Okay, so this is something you could look at. I bought these online, like I said, 20 years ago. I have no idea if they still sell them or what the cost is now. Yeah, so that's an option. So guys, we're gonna leave it there for today. I hope these two pointers, these two very important pointers, are somehow useful to you in the beginning of your new venture. Even if you're not a newbie, I'm sure there's still some bit of information in there that you found useful. We're gonna leave it there for today. We're gonna continue next week. Please go over. I'm gonna bring you a couple more pointers, and we're gonna create something of a small mini series, you know, for all the new persons who want to get into rabbit farming. If it's your first time pulling up with us, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you'll know whenever we release new content. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the like button. Let the algorithm know that you enjoy our content, so they'll push our videos a bit more. Help us out on the road to 10,000. Okay, we're just over 6,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 10,000. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, push this to someone else who you think it would be useful to. We appreciate the support. So now, on behalf of this beautiful girl here, my business partner Sean McLean, Sean's Rabbit and Aquaponic Produce, signing out. We see you guys in the next video. Peace.